welcome back to the second half of Fated Worlds, the Eschaton! So, uh, let me see. Where we left off, um, uh, you had, uh, Ariel, you had sensed a possible uh, vulnerability, and I think there was a deal being cut regarding regarding getting you to uh, go make things very difficult for the primary government of Athena. Um, and let me see.
I'm trying to gain more leverage over Logos by occupying the
Yes.
government surrounding his little nation. Maybe it's a
Yeah.
big nation, I don't know.
Yeah. I think we can. Yeah, because you just did an assessment, so we could we could jump right into that if people are okay with that, or is there anything that someone wants to do in like the short term before that begins to occur?
I would say in the meantime, I have a couple things I'd want to be trying to do while he's getting this stuff in there. One, see about infiltrating into the nations of Logos itself. See what, like just in the area around it, trying to find in particular things with the soma manufacturing, and set up a fomenting rebellion in Blackwater.
Okay. Uh, which do you want to try to start up first? And so in infiltrating uh, the infiltrating Logos, you want to do you want to infiltrate the composition itself, or just have an agent that's
Get someone close to what I wanted. Well, actually, would probably be to infiltrate to steal or to steal something valuable. Probably to see about stealing secrets. I don't know if I need to infiltrate first till I can get someone close enough where they're in a position to possibly steal secrets about the soma manufacturing.
okay. Uh, well, the tricky thing about uh, uh, infiltrating and then stealing from uh, a composition is that because they're mentally linked, you would need to do a special project first, a long term project first to uh, be able to spoof that connection.
Okay. So are the only people that go anywhere around the soma manufacturing part of the composition, part of Logos, or would Logos use outside help for that too?
Yeah. Well, yeah. What's your take on that, Logos?
Not regarding how I'm governed
Regarding the soma manufacturing, is that
okay.
would that be entirely controlled by Logo system, or is
Yeah, I
there
think it
like
would be optimized actually.
Which means if I can get someone to a computer, I might be able to steal some files and information and then go through those.
okay? So you have the whole thing automated so that it's
Yeah, there's no need for my people to worry about stuff like that.
okay. Okay, so I think that uh, there's a couple of ways you can go about infiltrating that system. Then, you could either do the standard infiltrate, just getting say uh, like a AI entity into that system, uh, Or you could do it directly through the mindscape. Uh, just try and search for exploits in the system.
You said the first one was about trying to get someone, you said, to infiltrate in?
Yeah.
I'm better at that. Well, generally, I should double check something real quick. So I'm generally probably going to be better at that. Actually, wait a minute. What is... So I've done this enough. I kind of know what my better one is. I'm a little better at infiltrating or stealing something valuable. I'm pretty decent when it comes to using the mindscape for it, but I've got feet on the ground. I'm just a little bit better at that. So my general thing was, I use that if I can get eyes on what's going on. We just have a tendency to work better.
Okay.
Plus, it gives, I think, the more interesting possibility, if that's what I'm thinking of, where it might turn out to be a double agent or something from them if I fail.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a little more interesting than just searching the mindscape for it.
Okay. So yeah, go ahead and roll influence.
Okay. I have an extra +1. I put up a little macro. This won't be in there, but I'll have an extra +1 on top of this because of my dirty tricks.
Okay.
Which gives me a total of 14.
Nice. Okay. So you managed to deliver some self-unpacking software into the system. No problem.
Okay, I thank Jay for what he did and tell him to keep tight while he's down there. Make sure that just to keep an eye out, there might be some trouble coming.
Okay. And you wanted to what was it you were looking to steal? Just information, or?
I'm looking to steal information on the manufacturing process. Now, because you said with the using the matter from the black hole, my guess is the information I'm going to get will probably be incomplete. It'll have most of it, but not probably tell me how to manufacture the black hole.
Well, yeah, you probably wouldn't have. So the soma isn't manufactured at this facility. It's just harvested here.
Yeah.
So I think getting but just looking around the system, you might be able to get some clues as to what might be involved in the manufacture.
So eventually, I'll just know that I'm missing. There's at least something coming in that I don't necessarily know what it is.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, well, okay. So you have, I think there are options. You can either get clues on the manufacturing process, or there's, there might be something else, some other relevant piece of information you could get here, if you want to focus on that other thing instead.
You said either the manufacturing or another piece of information? Probably back to the other piece of information first, because if there's something outside of the manufacturing, I'll have time to look into that. If I'm finding other weird connections, that might actually pull me, get my eye a little faster.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll plus influence.
And as again, is this part of infiltrate or something different?
This is steal something valuable.
Oh, also I have a +1, which will not be on there, so I have a 10.
Okay. So yeah, you can choose 3 options from the list.
Okay, so we'll say agent will escape. All the data is retrieved, or the object is undamaged, and they are not compromised.
Okay. So the additional piece of information that you get, or you know, that black box part of it is, and this is definitely something that special circumstances would be interested in, is it looks like there's a ongoing transformative aspect to this material, in that it not just it doesn't just create an addiction, but it probably causes other physiological and mental changes of a rather dramatic nature.
Do I have any idea when Blackwater started using Soma?
I'm sorry?
Would I have any idea when Blackwater started using Soma, or when it became more prevalent among their people?
Probably. Ariel?
Because if I did, I would probably start
when
of it with
when Blackwater became like a significant thing in the cosmos. This is what Ariel knows. I don't know if you know, but when Blackwater started becoming good and became the top mercenary and like joined the tribes of mercenaries, and like with like the Genghis Khan of like space, when all that happened, it's when Soma started coming into the picture.
Okay, and so nice. I'm assuming you were less savage. Were you less savage before Soma?
Yeah, no. In fact, the savagery, it's known, perhaps to Blackwater specifically, but what wasn't, the property that Soma added to the mercenary tribes were the unification and this weird cult they're sort of generating now, of like, you know, keep searching for the artifact or whatever, and they're all druggies, but they don't know it. So I'm guessing like once we get the supply, once the governors of Blackwater get the supply, they somehow feed it back into the people without the people knowing.
Okay. But I'm assuming I probably wouldn't. I'm probably not aware, or would I be aware through my contacts in there that this might be what causes that?
Sounds like something you have to roll for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll get back to that. In the meantime, I want to see what Ariel is doing on Athena. Or, I mean, of course, you can do something entirely different, but...
Can you hear me? Can't you?
Yes, I can hear you.
You were frozen there.
Okay. Yeah, mutually.
Okay.
So I think what Ariel's doing, and her, it's not just Ariel, right? There's other people in the same level as her, or them, like other like leaders, but she's one of the top. She's like the alpha, one of the alpha there.
Okay.
What the hell was I gonna say? Crap. Okay, so yeah, they've been dealing with the whole problem of like, just putting this entire government, this entire planet, besides Logos, under their boot. I'm guessing that the top dogs, like the big power structures in this planet are now Logos and Ariel's, the Blackwater.
Well,
but I think that's what they've been mostly doing right now, and also waiting, counting the minutes until the rest of the supplies get here.
Okay. Well, that's something you can, becoming part of the top dogs and controlling it is something that you can try to establish here.
Another thing,
but that hasn't happened yet.
Okay, it doesn't happen yet.
And Logos is located there. They don't really have any particular control over the government of the rest of the planet, though.
Yeah, I think part of of the positioning they're doing is also summoning other, calling, into the cyber ether, through the cyber ether, calling to the other, because they're far away. There's large fleets of Blackwater all over the systems, all over the galaxy. I don't know, and so they're calling them to the planet to make sure, just to bring more, and also trying to recruit people in the planet here, this democratic planet, trying to bring them into this cult, just to growing in force and numbers, just amassing. It's kind of an instinct of this nation of come in and just become bigger and more powerful.
Okay.
Make
let
more
me
guns
see.
and armor.
Do you want to establish a foothold on Athena in order and then use that foothold to grow, or do you want to build up numbers and then start messing with Athena?
I think the first thing that Blackwater does is going to the planet. As soon as the deal is done, and Ariel senses that, maybe I don't know. Maybe after one fleet or whatever comes, they go into Athena and start do that, because their people are restless. They want to do stuff.
Sure.
So you can't just sit around and wait for the whole gang to get here. No, we gotta just get in, get everybody busy doing something, and then start calling.
Okay. So. So are you just physically landing ships there, and just
bullying?
Sounds like you're engaging in direct conflict.
Oh yeah, I'm directly I'm directly just jamming my iron fist into the Athena's face and just getting in there.
Okay.
Ouch.
So roll plus control.
Okay. What is my stats? Yeah, +1. Now I have do I have plus anything because I'm direct?
You may. I think you probably do.
Something.
Let's see.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think I do. Just +1, I guess. I guess I remember.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is one of the possible options, but I think you have the you took arm to the teeth instead.
Oh. So I never did my troop commander role.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we should probably do that before actually making the direct conflict roll.
All right. Here's my troop commander. 10.
Yeah. So no problem. They are chomping at the bit to smash some people. So yeah, no no worries there.
You activate a surplus you have. What does that mean exactly? Because I didn't read troop commander.
Oh, I'm sorry. I open that back up.
Circles, yeah. Field command, distance, spirit.
Oh, okay. Oh, so this is the for the role
Yeah,
on
this
Troop
role.
Commander when you first that we were supposed to do it special session start. Uh, uh, so let me see. Well, okay. Your surplus would be drugs, right?
No,
So
our surplus is
yeah,
guns and meat shields. We're running out of drugs.
yeah. Um.
And bloodthirst. That's our surplus.
Yeah. One moment. Let's.
We have guns that shoot guns.
Okay. Oh.
You've inceptioned
Okay.
your
So it could
guns.
just be the surplus. Could just be. Yeah. Definitely. Like pick one from amongst the surpluses. Um. And that's like ongoing. You don't generally get to change it from even like between sessions. Um. Although this is a one shot. Uh. But
Violence.
violence certainly fits.
Yes.
Okay. So you do have a +1 to your direct conflict roll.
Awesome. Okay. 2d6 plus 2 then. 8.
All right. Oh, and I should have established. Are you're just trying to do you want to start putting them in a position where they just can't oppose you at all, or is there some other objective?
My main objective, is get into a advantageous position, so I can gain leverage on logos. On Athena, my position is to just Zerg rush them. Basically Zerg rush, because I have so many guns and so many people, and just put them into submission. Like the government, the government, and like can go up to me and be like, no, please stop, don't do that. No,
Okay,
no, I'm
so
just like,
yeah,
to menace them.
Okay, so that's two different objectives. Do you want do you want to get specifically just to get advantage over Logos, or just roll over Athena in general?
No, my main objective is logos. This is just a way to do that.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
position my people there, so because yeah,
Okay.
just position all my people around the planet, around Athena.
Okay. But so in specifically going after
Because I'm not
okay,
gonna
so
start
are
shooting at
you
logos yet.
are you in gaining it in going into Athena to gain advantage over Logos, are you like directly confronting Logos, not Athena?
No. I'm just coming. Like here's like the border.
You just want
and
the beachhead
I'm just like
on.
right at the border. Like I'm not occupying you yet, but I'm right here.
Okay.
My guns.
Okay. So yeah, I think that just establishing that beachhead rather than for advantage later, I think that's going to be like a 2 o'clock rather than the 4 o'clock it would be to like uh, put Athena into a position of complete submission.
Oh, there's like a clock on the submission.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
in Blades. Cool. we don't have ammo cartridges. You just throw your gun and it explodes, and then pull out another gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Krogans would respect you.
The what?
The Krogans.
Oh yeah, the Krogans. Wait till we meet them.
Okay.
Drinking buddies.
So, you, right. Got a clock advance there, and, and they do fight back. So, you get to choose essentially between just two because your existing want is already activated, I believe. So between losing one morale, gaining a new want, and actually let's look at savagery.
Yeah, what is savagery? Let's see.
Okay. Actually, yeah. Not sure. I may have skipped that one, or did we just choose that it's there and I forgot whether it was actually activated already. Come to think of it.
Oh, this is
Just to not have to go back in time. Yeah, you can. So you can either choose a new want, or you can go ahead and activate savagery, or you can lose one morale.
relay mode. When you activate another mission, makes it cause the population to do something really stupid. Let's become desperate. Let's I'm channeling Fiasco here. Let's just channel. Let's put
All right.
desperate. Another one.
So I think what happens is
Desperation.
oh, you know what? I think it was activated earlier. I just forgot to like do the thing.
Yeah.
So I think what happens is in addition to just like establishing like camp at the edges of Athena, a bunch of your people go in on what they call recon missions, but really what it is just driving into or driving or flying into town and just shooting a bunch of stuff.
It's just like perfect storm type.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, they're just like picking off a bunch of Athenian civilians.
They're not used to it being this easy.
Yeah.
They're enjoying it. Like high levels and like low level zone, just like shooting goblins.
Fight back! No. Oh.
What was I gonna say? It reminds me of that old guy, and I think it was the Two Towers in Helm's Deep, where he just like shoots the orc by accident, like by like letting go of his bow. So yeah, they do that.
Okay.
That's.
But I think that there's also some like fairly immediate pushback, because I mean, yes, you nail a bunch of civilians before they're like organized to defend, but the Athenians don't take it lying down. So I'm gonna need you to go ahead and roll resist outside influence.
Okay. That's interesting. Is the outside influence Logos or Athenian?
Would this be a good time for me to actually check about fomenting rebellion?
Oh yes. Yeah,
So
go ahead and do that first.
All right.
I do get a +1 that wouldn't be on this. But my people inside got a 12, as they are setting things up. Basically,
so you're running it against me?
No, this is against Blackwater.
Okay.
He's just smacking the hornet's nest with a stick.
Okay, brutal.
Everything's on fire. You're just walking around with gasoline, just like spraying it everywhere.
Okay. So I think that's gonna be a that's gonna be a 4 o'clock. Oop, not a 6 o'clock.
Use like a rollable table to change the nice.
Oh, I haven't been looking at the clocks. Nice. Or the map.
Label this. Okay, so now, Ariel, if you could roll resist outside influence.
Gotcha. Or is it organization moves? Okay. That's plus control.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a direct?
It's not direct conflict though.
It's not direct. That's an actual move, right? It's not an abstract thing. Okay. So that's +1.
Okay.
Damn.
So yeah, they do push back. They try to uproot you from this beachhead that you've created. But you have you have weapons in place and have already dug in by the time they get out there, and it does not go well.
No, I have those like nanobots that pulverize people. I think after a couple of those, they calm down.
Oh, so on their way. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So like on their way in, they like fly through this silvery mist, and they don't come out.
They become the silvery.
Yeah. So Logos, what are you doing?
Come at me, bro.
Wow. You know, the thing is, right now, kind of everything is so and it could all go completely in my direction or completely against me, and I'm like,
yeah, you know what? You know who needs more pressure? Constantine.
I think so, actually.
I don't believe I'm directly involved in any of this. I'm somewhere else out in the universe, not anywhere nearby where any of your people
are. I mean, is there a way to detect that you have infiltrated me, or is there not? Like,
sure. You can.
Was that if I failed the infiltration roll?
Well, you'd be he'd be tipped off automatically if it was a failed infiltration roll, or you chose the option, or didn't choose the option uh, where they they're warned. Um, but I think that you well, let me see. I guess maybe not. Uh,
It would seem to make
because I
sense
mean, you
if
don't.
I had ongoing infiltration,
Yeah,
if they had a reason to look forward to me one, but since my guy got in and got out.
yeah. And yeah, because of that, yeah, I don't think that there is like this charged situation to scan.
Okay, no,
Um,
that's fine.
I
Um,
mean, if you were looking to if you were looking to set up a search the mindscape to find out what's going on, I need a little bit more. Like uh, uh,
you know,
what are you doing that would trigger that?
I think it would make more sense if I would be setting up defenses at this point, like either getting infiltrated, because I've never been infiltrated before, but it might happen in the future. Um, but also like military, because if Blackwater does some aggressive moves, I just don't want to be like completely unarmed. That would be unfortunate. So, is there anything I can roll to do that?
Sure. There are a couple of potential options. You could just like buy military equipment using convenient acquisition, uh, or you could do a some sort of long-term project that's setting up defenses. Uh, or let me see, is there anything under organization that uh, might fit? You yeah.
Resist outside influence, probably.
Well, hmm.
Or maybe I can't do that beforehand, just as a
Yeah,
countermeasure. But
it's only triggered when some other organization is like actively influencing yours.
okay. Uh, Restructure maybe.
Yeah, yeah. If there's some uh, some organization descriptor that you'd like to add that would help you in defense, you could totally do that.
Yeah, I think I would like restructure my police and military forces to be more efficient and stronger, bigger, all that kind of stuff, because
Okay.
we need, our nation needs the protection and the inner stability more than ever.
Okay. Let me see. And sorry for the delay while I'm looking through the descriptions for something that would fit. By all means, uh, as well.
Are the Is it clear that the or clear to me that the manufacturing and mining of Soma is done in this planet, or do I have no idea? Without rolling, just like right now.
Yeah, I think without looking into it, that it's likely because you know that Logos is housed here. But you'd have to you probably have to do something like search the mindscape to determine for sure.
I'm picturing like taking the last bit of drugs we have and just going like super cyber ether net, just like searching on mindscape.
So yeah, in terms of that restructuring, you could uh, like implement a constitution that is very much centered around military defense, and that would give you that would give you a bonus to resist outside influence, and that's generally what you would be doing against other people uh, coming at you. Do you want to do that?
Sure.
Okay. So
What was it again?
uh, so that would be restructuring.
Structure. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So control.
Yeah.
Ooh,
No problem.
let's go.
Okay. So yeah, you adopt a constitution that's like uh, compulsory military service, or what does this new constitution look like?
Before I didn't really have like my police force in a big city looked like there were like 2 or 3 officers and a few watchdogs maybe, and now we just restructured, get more officers, hire more, and give them better equipment, especially.
Is it could it possibly be that you're also increasing the connection between like the amount of information that passes through, like there's certain groups of people are also feeling the same things at once, also like increasing the amount of high mindedness?
Oh no, it's like the people in the state are not hive mind at all. Like, it's only the system that governs them is hive mind. It's only a bunch of brains in one building, hidden somewhere. That is the hive mind.
Yeah, the people themselves share memories, right? But
no,
they
they
all
don't
have
even that. No, they're just normal
nothing at
people.
all. Just normal people.
It's just I'm just playing the system that governs them.
Okay. So be sure to add constitutional to your list of organizational descriptors, and if you could hit save on the character sheet so I can actually see the
I don't really understood how to do that, so I just made everything in a text document, to be honest.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can copy paste it there if you say where to put it.
Sure. Either at the bottom of bio info, or I can I can add a new sheet if you prefer.
I can just put it in the bottom. I just didn't want to, erase all that stuff because I don't know if you have a backup or not.
Oh, I do. I do.
Um,
Yeah. So if the
It's
text document is like complete and has everything, you can just replace it with the
Okay.
text there.
Okay. I mean, it would make sense that you do have a backup, but better safe than sorry.
Yeah.
I could have been a lot of work. Put in. Okay. Now it should be.
Got it. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, okay. And now I put their constitutional somewhere. Okay. Okay.
Oh, and what
Alright.
were your other organizational descriptors?
I didn't find what I didn't understand what exactly, to be honest, what that means on.
Oh, okay. So under handouts, there's a sheet that's titled organizational descriptors.
Oh, okay. Okay. Um.
Well, go ahead and take your time choosing that.
Yeah. Okay.
In the meantime, uh, Constantine,
Hmm.
what are
Yep.
you up to?
If he's doing the attack on here, and I've been kind of got the information that it's missing. The production is missing something. Um, Two things I'd have my people trying to do is one, take advantage of the chaos to see if there's a way I can get more information on the missing material, but then also to work on causing some problems for the um, the Blackwater attack.
Okay. Another thing that you would probably be um, probably be aware of, given that uh, you engage in massive surveillance.
Mm-hmm.
There is in addition to the chaos of Blackwater landing on Athena, there is another fleet coming into Athenian orbit from uh, uh, the innermost planet, Vorhal. I'm just now naming.
What do I know about this planet and its people?
Uh, so the the planet itself is actually uh, outside of the the Goldilocks zone, so like there's no liquid water there, um, and the the population uh, is actually a mix of humans, most of which are in robot bodies, and a race known as the Megrazon, um, and they uh, they are essentially all uh, uploaded into either robotic or full-on mecha bodies. And there may be more information that could be obtained there.
So you said
I should talk a little bit about their government, though. In any case, because you would have that. Uh, so they are. They're essentially uh, there isn't one there isn't one leader there. It's just this massive bureaucracy um, that that just overrides every aspect of life there. It's like a totalitarian bureaucracy.
So like robot Vogons.
Yeah.
Okay. And how much there you said? A bunch or just a few?
Um, it's a pretty sizable fleet. It's the it is uh, probably almost a city's worth of uh, individuals in uh, probably let's call it 2 dozen ships.
Okay. So with them coming in, I want to know why they're here.
They're bureaucrats, so they're definitely not my people.
So can I check to see if I have some of my people? They're probably not in this place itself, but in the bureaucracy. But I can have them get some information about why this fleet has shown up here all of a sudden, and whose side they're planning on being on.
Sure, sure.
If
I mean, I think by
infiltrate.
uh, by all means, go ahead.
Okay, so I've got the +1, which will not be on here because of my dirty tricks. But as far as infiltrates go, I have 9.
Okay. So, use 2.
Yeah, I'll say the agent that I've got there is not, the organization's not alerted, and they can communicate or leave at will, but they do not have access to all physical parts of the facility or facilities.
Okay. So the yeah, just by infiltrating, you can tell that the primary reason that they're there is that some contract that they had with Logos wasn't fulfilled, and this fleet has been dispatched to enforce it with penalties. Penalties as stipulated by law.
I think I'm going to just sort of remain out of the way, but I'm going to be focusing on trying to find more information about the missing missing piece of the manufacturing, while Logos is probably going to be, and also some fomenting rebellion. I'm going to let that take a little while. While Logos is working these two sides.
Keep fomenting violence and we'll destroy everything, eh? Facility and everything will be gone. Big
Well,
old black hole.
I do very well in chaos. Because chaos, I'm not usually in the middle of it. I'm out to the sides. So y'all are looking at each other, and I get to sneak around and get what I need.
I'm saying like you lose your chance to get information about the darkness.
So that's my plan right now. Is during this chaos, is I'm going to be mostly trying. I'm letting the Foment Rebellion take a little bit longer, but the biggest thing I'm going to be focusing on is trying to find out more information about the manufacturer.
Okay.
So I'm going to let Logos be a little taken up by all this, while I start working my way through.
Okay. So it's a little bit backwards, but yeah, if you want to go ahead and do a you wanted to were you researching the manufacturing, or were you
Well, I guess am I going to need to? I guess I need to sort of have people specifically going to the manufacturing facilities or trying to trace where it's coming from. I probably, since it's not in the computer systems, at least the stuff that I got, I probably have to physically find out where this stuff is coming from. And
yeah, like the extraction system from the black hole, that's automated, and you infiltrated that successfully and got back out. But yeah, that is separate from the manufacturing.
Okay, so I thought I did the manufacturing, but I wasn't sure what the black hole part of it was.
I think it was the other way around. That you
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You infiltrated the automated system for extraction from the black hole,
okay.
but the manufacturing is separate. Does that jive with what you thought the situation was, Logos?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was the other way around. In that case, all I need to do, the manufacturing aspect's actually going to be easier. Again, getting someone to the place, because I'm sure summer production in the middle of a two-front war is probably going to slow down some.
Probably.
So that's a good time for me to send some people in.
Okay. So let's
dressed up as like the smart uniforms, making them appear as Blackwater soldiers. They're trying not to be seen, but if they are seen, it's going to look like a Blackwater strike force.
Okay. So let's hold off on actually doing that infiltration, but yeah, it's definitely like in the works. So, Ariel, you I think that you know the for sure, like the sensors on your ships pick up that there's this other fleet coming in, and you know Athena has fought back feebly, and the force they sent was wiped out, but the beachhead that you've established isn't complete yet. It isn't enough to use as an advantage upon Logos. So you could either try and finish setting that up, or you could just focus on growth or something else.
Okay, so the initial deal was you gave me a month's worth, or like twice a month's worth, right, of drugs, and then I help you expand, and then I don't have to attack Constantine, but I thought you were lying, so that's why I'm doing this, right? Um, I think I ignore the robot Vogons. I think I want to call the rest of my people across the cosmos, but most of my I want to do both things at once, but I want to focus on um, getting that actual advantage set up on logo. So like set up
Okay.
the beachhead and using it, being ready to deploy that secret that I have about his government. Um, spreading news about the government being controlled by overmind instead of like people.
Okay. Yeah, I should mention that the actual process of growing your population is kind of tricky. It takes a while.
Yeah.
So if you're just just finishing that beachhead is
The
a lot
growing
easier.
meant like just getting getting people from Athena, just like recruiting them like on the fly, just picking up whatever we find useful, we just pick up and add on onto the to the group.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
focusing on the
mean,
beachhead.
part of establishing that beachhead can certainly be that that in the fiction you're growing your ranks from the Athenians, um, but it won't be like enough to uh, grow your organization to another size category. It's just like, as I said in the fiction. Um, Although
So are you telling me that?
the Athenians are not really happy with you. You've killed a lot of them.
Yeah, we're not worried about them at all. We think that we can just they're chocolate solar and we just push them aside whenever they get up. Um, but yeah, establishing the bit head, is that just a matter of numbers of people? Is that it?
Um,
Because if it is,
it's
then I would just focus all my efforts on summoning my people. So I just
uh
bring them in here, like get them warp in, and come
I
down
think
here.
it's partially a matter of having boots on the ground, but it's also uh, partially having like facilities set up, uh, having the much of the planet reconned, uh, that sort of stuff.
I think facilities setting up facilities. I can picture the ships like instead of landing like this horizontally, they just land like this and they just make up a tower, just land on the floor, like crushing a town. Like legs come out. That's our new like watchtower right there.
Okay. Uh, so in pursuing that, uh, there's uh, there's probably just two different ways you can go about it. You can continue in direct conflict, just uh, shooting a bunch of people, uh, or you could uh, just continue undermining, which is a little bit of a slightly softer approach and would be using your your influence rather than direct military confrontation.
The undermining by using the what I know about logos is my nuclear option. This besides the actual nukes that I have. Um, that is my nuclear option because we made a deal, right? And I'm not gonna back the deal. I'm not gonna go back on the deal. But I'm just being super um, aggressive
Okay.
about it.
Okay. Cool.
So keep shooting people as long as they're not logos people. Um, just keep that beachhead up, and as soon as he crosses the line and breaks the deal, then I'm just gonna go nuclear, and I'm gonna spread all the news across his people, and I'm gonna try to figure out, just rip out the information out of him of like go into the brain and rip out the information of like where is the source of Soma.
Okay. So go ahead and roll control, and I think you have an extra +1 from uh, from being violent, having a surplus of violence.
Yes. Oh, thank God.
Okay. So you do in fact establish that beachhead. That is a thing. Um, so you'll definitely be like very difficult to dislodge from the planet. Um, and it will make it probably a bit easier to exert pressure on Logos as well. But you do need to but in the process, there was again a little bit of pushback from the Athenians. So you either lose one morale, or you gain a new want.
Can't I activate one?
Uh, your savagery is already active.
Yeah, but I got desperation as well.
Oh, okay.
Causes the population to do something really stupid. Oh, I love that.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
going for that.
Well, I think that that was part of the. I believe that was
I did
part of savagery already. Like it was savagery when it's activated.
So savagery, it kind of like I can choose what wand activates out of those. Because my
yes,
savage,
yes.
my savagery activated, and I thought, well, now you have a new wand, which is desperation, because that's what I chose. But no, that what it means is that I get the
Yeah, you apply the results
effect.
of that that other
Damn
one.
it, I spent my savagery. Okay, so I am gonna get lose one morale. I'm not gonna lose morale. Screw that. Yeah, I get a new wand. My wand is morale -2. No obligation. Prod. No reprisals. Yeah, I want desperation. I'm gonna have desperation, so I have it now.
Okay, so desperation on top of savagery.
Yeah.
Okay.
When can I activate savagery again?
Uh. Hmm.
Or is it spent for this?
I don't know. I guess. Uh. I mean, normally I thought of it as just something. It's either active or not activated multiple times. Um, but the way savagery specifically is set up, you could, in theory, activate multiple times because it has a choice of various other wants that it charges. But rather than making an exception for the rules at this point, let's just go ahead and add uh, add desperation as an ongoing activable thing, and then or an ongoing want. So be sure to add that to your sheet. And Logos. Things are starting to get hectic. Uh, so yeah, Blackwater has this beachhead on your world that is looking pretty strong. There's this other fleet that they are, once they arrive in orbit, you get this uh, knock, knock, knock through the mindscape that is tagged as the uh, special enforcement Vorhalian fleet collective.
Okay. Those guys sound It's not like people that I definitely want to deal with. Yeah, sure. If someone try to talk to me, I'll let them talk.
Okay. Our negotiated and contractually our negotiated and contractually enforced agreement for delivery of Soma uh, is 22 hours behind schedule. How do you propose to remedy this infraction?
No, well, there are multiple possibilities, but it depends on which you prefer. However, as you can see, I am under siege right now, so this is kind of an.
There is no clause for delay due to siege.
You need the proper form of delay under siege in order to continue.
All right. So you propose that I neglect the defense of my nation, and therefore I'm not able to deliver Soma at any point in the future.
We
I'm willing to pay.
we propose a an immediate delivery of 150% of the Heterophore agreed amount of Soma, as well as further scheduled shipments to be increased by 50%.
We can make a deal about this. I might have the capacity to do so. However, if that were to happen, then another one of my customers had to disappear to do so.
You wish to contract for our services in your defense, in addition to the agreed upon Soma contract?
Yes, however, it would be I would be most pleased if there's no trace that I am the one who has hired your services, but more that
That is impossible. It must be put in our records.
I can we agree on I don't know the English word, damn. Like someone that puts forth the contract in my stead.
We are willing to negotiate with a third party should the proper forms be filled out and all necessary collateral be in place.
Well then, expect to. I think you will have a call soon.
You have 30 minutes before we will begin direct extraction.
Okay. So I have 30 minutes now. I want to first talk to Konstantin about this. Yeah. Knock knock. Who's there? It's me.
Yes.
I am in need of someone that can sign a contract for me that should not be, I don't want any record of my involvement. Do you have any idea who could assist me in such a matter?
I guess I'm not entirely sure. This is sort of a little bit OOC. I'm not quite sure what you mean by signing a contract that you want to be present for.
So the out of character, I just got a call from this other party that wants Soma
the extra
that I
50%.
didn't. Yeah, and I want to contract them to get into a struggle with Blackwater, so I don't have to deliver to either of them for now.
Yeah,
and I can just deliver to the winner of it. And
as long as you're paying, I can probably set up. I'm guessing I probably have a number of dummy corporations set up here and there for the shifting of money. Probably how I pay a lot of my people.
Well, you have you probably don't have to pay them directly. They gain reputation just by an acknowledgement through the meta society that they're doing this performing this service.
In which case, I would contact one of my people who's positioned in perhaps another society to contact them about contracting them to help out with logos.
Okay. So I think that there's a couple of different ways you could approach this. You could, in making these negotiations, do it as as manufacturing consent, or you could just make a convenient acquisition roll to come up with the desired funds. But in manufacturing consent, you'd need to give them something anyway.
Here's my thing. I would not. I guess what you're asking me, Logos, you're wanting them to be contracted to help.
Yeah, okay. I mean not help me, but to attack Blackwater.
To attack Blackwater. Okay, so the thing
to help Athenia, of course. I would say not me.
If there's any funds coming through it, I could launder them through my people, but that would need to come, I guess, from you.
It's just I get the contract with them. I'll just get them more Soma. That's all the payment they want, apparently. So, and didn't they?
They were demanding an immediate payment of Soma, that is 50% larger than what had originally been agreed to, and then separate from that, okay. If you want them to attack to attack Blackwater, that would be another deal. So you'd have to either have
Oh, okay,
yet
then I
more
misunderstood.
Soma like immediately, or you know, something else that they want.
Yeah, I guess then I just do an convenient acquisition roll, don't I?
Yes.
And now I get another party pissed off with that, and I just
Okay. So your rep is 3, right?
yeah.
Um,
Mine actually it's now 2, I think, from what I took for us. What was it called again? The sorry.
you took a -1 to rep. With
With I think with restricted information.
oh no, no. I think last time you did asset is faulty in some way, and
Oh no, I took strings attached and it's
and
faulty.
it had strings attached. Yeah. So you still have 3 rep.
But I have I took this one descriptor that lowers my rep by 1. So
Oh, okay. So I see. Uh, so uh, at a rep of 2, um, you well, okay, yeah, you can go ahead and roll it. You're at -2. Yeah.
-2. Perfect. Just what I want. Wow, that is spectacular.
Wow. So let me see. I think that I think that rather than lowering your rep further, the more interesting thing is that you don't have that much Soma by no means, nowhere close. Like
Yeah.
it would take you even if left alone, it would take you a very long time to manufacture that much.
Okay. Then I think I have to go to the other plan. I think I need to hire Blackwater to get rid of them. I mean, not sure how this works, but you know.
Great. Just make sure you pay us in Soma, okay?
Yeah, I just give the Soma that I would usually deliver to them. I will in the future sell to Blackwater. Is that a deal you would be willing to take if you take care of
Well,
of this situation?
out of character, you promised Soma enough stuff for 2 months. You said.
Yeah. But
So
I can't
already.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can deliver that, but only if those people above my head disappear, because that is.
Oh, you,
And
don't,
I
you
will
can't
just
change the conditions.
and no. I won't change the condition, but you know, if you take care of them, I can deliver you more on the long term. Like everything that I would monthly give to them, you will get. You know, I will sell it to you. So no more shortages.
Yeah. This is not. She doesn't believe you. I mean, she didn't believe you the first time, the first deal. She has doubts, or they have doubts on it. And just
I will
being
deliver
like,
the 2 months
oh,
immediately.
we couldn't. Some people came up, obviously like wanting something. I want you to take care of them, and I'll pay you even more. I don't think they would believe it right away. In fact, how much more? Oh, they're just gonna, they're just gonna figure, yeah, how much more and when.
How much did I deliver to the other faction till now? Like the same
Uh,
as Blackwater, about?
okay, so the original deal was yes, the same as Blackwater, but the Vorhalians are asking for this additional 50%.
So
Yeah.
3 months worth.
Yeah, so I can deliver double in the future if they. Or 100, I can deliver 150% in the future if those above us disappear. I can deliver to you.
Ariel and her crew, it's not gonna disassemble this beachhead. No way. I think she says, well, you know what? I'm waiting for more of my people to come here any minute now. When they get here, I can let them I can take care of them for you.
At a price.
Of course, the 3 months worth that you would give me on top.
I think what we have here is that
over the next months.
Yeah, I think Logos, you're trying to manufacture consent here.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. I guess let's try to do that.
You're lying, right?
I'm not lying that I will give you more in the long term, that you get more per month, but.
Okay.
But you are trying to get a very good deal.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Could you 2 months from now give me 3 months worth? Or no, and a month from now, right?
I can give you per month. This month I can give you 2 months worth. That's what I already have right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And next month I can give you another 2 months, and then I can give you another 2 months, but then it's 1.5 times after that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so before you agree to that or disagree with that, Ariel, Logos, if you could go ahead and roll plus suave for manufacture consent with any bonuses or penalties that you have.
Even if your logic is sound, like we're all twitchy.
Yeah. Let me check if I have any.
Also, I'm probably gonna have to go soon.
Okay, yeah, we are kind of over already.
Same. Yeah. Okay, I think I've just this, so yeah, that's unfortunate.
Oh, okay, was that the roll right there, the 6?
Okay, I think we can actually end it with they all just take me down, or I just blow myself up to try to save my brains somewhere, and hide them, but everything else is blown up. And
so yeah, in the process of the negotiation, Ariel, you realize that you could probably ask for and get like much more. Like there's like this existential threat hanging over the Logos. And
I've never been in this position with you before.
Yeah. And you've been looking to grow your organization. Maybe the Logos could be subsumed.
I think the thought of being able to produce the own drug that you control your people with is something just like, it sounds like a beautiful idea. Because depending on them, it's just terrible. I think maybe she invades.
Can I do one final action before that?
What's that?
I would make an ultimatum. if they attack me, I'll just blow everything up, and there's nothing left for them to get.
Okay. So before you do that ultimatum, let me see. You Constantine.
Mhm.
You have a spy on board with Blackwater. I think that you get the sense of the shifting forces and dynamics. Uh, is there something that you would like to do as probably a final move?
My big thing would be trying to infiltrate to get the last information I need as far as the total manufacturing stuff goes.
Before
Hit
we
the
blow up,
Blackwater.
yeah.
I don't need to necessarily kind of pull the pin on that explosive that's being set up in Blackwater, and its own savagery is one of the things that any problems could be um, blamed on. So if things are kind of going to shit here between Logos, Blackwater, and then the Vogons, uh, I might use that time to try to get the last bit of the information so that I can sell off that process.
Okay. Um,
So, is
so
that another infiltrate, or is that steal something valuable?
I think let's
Sounds like
just
stealing.
move directly to steal something valuable.
Yeah, which for me are each the same roll with an extra +1 because of dirty tricks. Those are both influence. Yeah, so I got a 9 total.
Okay. Um, so yeah, you get two choices there.
Yeah, I would say all the data is retrieved. I will say the agent escapes. There'll probably be proof left over of who the agent was.
Okay. So yes, you learn the secrets of the manufacturing process, uh, for which
Okay.
special circumstances is uh, uh, very pleased. Um, and so if we were to do another session, I think next session you would be at. I think it'd probably still be temporary, but you'd be at +1 rep.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so even though you don't personally have the facilities to make the stuff, and it's tricky to make, it's still a very valuable thing that you have stolen, indeed. Now,
And yeah,
uh, you wanted to make this ultimatum.
yeah. I, I guess it kind of lost its worth now because someone else knows how to produce it. But yeah,
But
I,
yeah,
I,
that
I,
information, the information
I
that the
don't know
information is out,
yeah,
is probably not yet available to you.
yeah.
It
And it was
didn't
out of
lose its
character
worth.
anyway. But yeah, I'll just make an ultimatum. If I go down, I'll just take everything with me, and there will be no Soma anywhere. They can look for another drug. And yeah,
Do I have to respond to that, or do you just roll?
Roll first, and then you can respond.
wow.
Ouch. Okay.
So do I respond after you give me the result of the roll, or?
So, let me see. I think what oh, and so what is the wording of the ultimatum? I mean, you already sketched it out, but
Um, if any attack is made on me, I'll just destroy everything that is connected to the production, and yeah, there will be no summer production, and yeah, basically I'll just blow everything up, while in secretly trying to save the brains somewhere. I don't know, smuggling them out, but the nation would pretty much be gone.
Okay.
Do I believe this is? Can I notice if this is true or false?
So yes, the logos would totally would blow it up, uh, given the given a called bluff if they're in the position to. But I think the failed roll means that they had to respond to the situation immediately and before the explosives were in place. So you have an opportunity to seize control uh, before they can place the explosives. So let's do a final. I think it's direct conflict, and rather than doing rather than doing this as a clock, this is all or nothing.
I love all or nothing. 2d6. What?
Plus 2, I think.
This is plus control, and I have plus 1, so it's plus 2. Boom.
Okay. So, yeah. So, the logo threatens to blow up facilities that you have surrounded, and they.
Some of them do.
And you see the ships coming in that are that are like delivering the explosives to the manufacturing facility, and you shoot that down, and just kind of move in and take over the facility like no problem.
Yeah, tons of people die.
And there is one problem, which is that a number of your people overdose because they're here's the whole manufacturing facilities. They can go crazy. And some of the ones that take like a heavy dose, that much larger dose than you usually like dole out, but that don't like fall and with their lips turning blue. They start to get it's sort of helpful. They get like it's like they start to look like too many steroids guy.
Huh?
And are sort of vaguely controllable, but like their faces are like in this constant rictus, and they're like that segment is like in constantly activated savagery.
Okay.
But as stormtroopers that you threw out on the battlefield to terrorize people without having a specific objective. They're pretty useful for that still.
Perhaps one of the final scenes is just like seeing like 4 giant ships with like tethers somewhere underneath like some ground that was blown up, and then like the thrusters like just pushing on the floor, like singeing like forest and buildings and towns because they're massive ships and just like lifting up the entire like particle collider from the Earth
We'll take that.
miles underneath. Just like, oh, okay, we'll take that with us. And I feel like it would be nice for the continuing. We just ignored the brain, by the way. Continuing sessions if we had any, which is that I have the manufacturing stuff. You have the formula. None of us can make the stuff yet.
My money is I'm selling that to somebody else. I don't have to make it. I am the provider. I could then set up something.
I mean, okay, yeah, sure. I guess, but do you have the schematics of how to build particle colliders and?
Well, at this point, I have all the information that would be needed to create it.
Oh yeah.
What it sounded like. I think I got the missing aspect on that last infiltration.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some experiments, coming up with some weird shit.
All right. So, thank you guys playing. I appreciate it.
Thank you for running.
Oh, thank you.
My pleasure. So, if anybody needs to like head out right now, I totally understand. If you want to give like a shout out, that's totally cool. If there's like if you've got like anything going on online or anything that you want to promote, you have the floor.
I actually, it's not me, but I've been in a D&D campaign, and we finished it last week. And I checked out the last video, and somebody commented on it, which is crazy because I didn't think somebody was actually watching the entire campaign. Let me see if I can find this guy's channel. Ido Tamir. So IDO Tamir is this guy has a YouTube channel, puts D&D videos. He put a campaign Strahd that I'm in. If you like watching D&D campaigns.
Okay, that's IDO.
IDO Tamir. IDO TAMIR. Okay. That's two. That's first name and last name.
Cool. Uh-huh.
I was just saying I kind of need to leave now, but I was thinking, okay, I think we are done anyway, so
yeah.
I didn't need to say anything.
Yeah, I've got Confessions of an Improv GM. I've been putting up some of the campaigns and one-shots. Wield is an ongoing weekly one. We've been playing where they play both magical items and people wielding someone else's magical item. That has been crazy fun.
Interesting. Is that up on Twitch or YouTube or anything?
It's on YouTube.
Okay. By all means, if you have a link handy, post it.
Oh, to the Discord, or no, to the
in the Twitch chat.
Oh,
Or if you don't have Twitch chat open, just you can just post it in Roll20 and I'll copy it over.
Oh yeah, the actual thing for my channel.
By the way, Emiliano, do you want my Discord channel data?
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Also, before we go, if you guys have any comments or critiques, like by all means be brutal. I definitely want to know about anything that like felt clunky or any areas that you think could use improvement. I'm all ears.
Yeah, I think I'll give you a bit of critique next week, but I don't really have time to do it now, so.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
I'll just
right
say
off
that.
The top. Go ahead.
I'll say I actually at a convention this weekend. I just ran similar in some respects. It was Smallville House of Cards hack. But when you're working, since everything works with the top part of organizations, it's very easy to not have much player interaction and be more a little board gaming. And this is the next move I make, and this is the next move I make. Which in a non-one shot, you could actually probably have more time to interact and have those scenes. But when you're moving quickly, nice to meet you.
Bye bye. Nice to meet you. Have a good
Bye.
time. Bye bye.
You too.
Oh,
When you're
and
moving quickly, it just comes down to I make my move, they make the move, they make the move, pretty easily. But I like the idea of dealing with that upper level management. It's just finding that balance between the character interactions, role playing, and then the system.
yeah.
And then the layers of like, here's the stats for my organization, here's the stats for my character in that organization. I feel like the stats for my character, there's no stats for my character. It's just like what they look like, right, in this game.
Well, no, like the I think for the moves you made, it may have been all organization, but
Oh right,
but
when I was
certainly like
insight, like
yeah that would be focus or synth for research or research Mindscape.
What I felt just right off the bat, and maybe this is because I came in like knowing nothing. I didn't know what the game was for a long time, or what this, like, I didn't even know, because like for example, Dungeon World is like fantasy adventure. You're gonna be going to the dungeon, you'll be killing stuff. Like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. This game is kind of like I have no idea what I was gonna do. From what I get so far is that you play the role of a leader in an organization, and you use that organization to, you have a goal, I guess, if I remember correctly, depending on, well, which just reflects the type of nation that you run or organization that you run. Mm-hmm. And there's a PvP aspect to it. Anyways, that's kind of like the thing, right? You're just like a massive, giant machine. So yeah, I didn't really understand what I was doing for quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Besides that, maybe it's because the moves. You didn't explain the moves either. Let's see the moves here. Organization moves and then basic moves. And then the handouts, the assets, body tags. I mean, most of it is here. I guess if I had like it all in a big PDF, I could just look at like basic and advanced moves. Not really a big deal. Once I figured out they were all here, I could just read them.
Yeah, I mean, part of that was like the that you were tapped at the very, very last minute, so there wasn't time to go over them. But there is like there's also like the idea that there's a lot to go over, so it can be tricky to absorb.
Yeah, for like right now I'm thinking there's lots of values. There's like rep, and there's the stats. There's I don't know, like these different tags that give off different things. But I feel like it's not really. I mean, if I knew the game, then there wouldn't be a factor. I don't know.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, I do worry that it's a bit that the system as a whole is too fiddly.
What's the design goal? What are you trying to make?
Well, I guess what I'm seeking is that this feeling of epic sandboxiness within a science fiction milieu that's driven by the sort of the personal foibles and connections of the PCs.
Okay. Um,
And yeah, I just in terms of running, I might not have been on top of the. I think I wasn't as on top of the marking experience as I should have been. I think there probably would have been a couple more points that should have been doled out that should have that may have driven a driven a desire to further uh, uh, take actions that weren't necessarily the most advantageous, but were but advantageous in the short term, but gave that yummy XP reward that also drives the action forward by being because the character is taking that sort of actor stance less than optimal action that's actually more interesting in play.
mm, damn, I'm so tired. I can't keep my thoughts straight.
Oh,
Dang
sorry.
it.
Yeah.
Uh,
What it's uh, 2 here, so it's what
11:30.
it's well after midnight where you are, right?
No, it's only 11:30. It's
Oh,
just that I've
okay.
been
Okay.
up.
It's
Um,
4:30 where I'm at.
what was I gonna say? Like, so like, kind of, it would be, I mean, at least part of what you said meant, kind of reflected or be like, you would want sort of big, um, because you imagine like, what is that one role play show? Swan Song.
Oh, uh-huh.
You've seen it. Yeah, there's like they're running around the galaxy, they're doing crazy shit, and they change the world they live in to some effect. But you would want the moves people do here to have like large effects, right? Because they're giant nations. Um, it's kind of like, yeah. Oh, man, it's so hard. I'm so tired. Um, and you would want the characters to do amazing like sort of things like that, um, and it push the players to want their organizations to make interesting choices that shape the world in interesting ways. Does that make
Absolutely.
sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of that requires kind of getting to know the world and stuff a little bit. I mean, I guess with more of the character interaction and such can help give a more of a through reason on why they're created or
Yeah,
why the changes are happening.
maybe have like a long like hour and a half like like, and besides the character creation, also the world creation, to create an interesting world that with the, like pieces that you can interact with in interesting ways. So when you're thrown in there, you already know sort of what to push and pull, um, or what you think you want your organization to push and pull.
Yeah.
So like microscope. I don't know.
Yeah. So this is the first session I've run where there wasn't a player that was playing the citizen playbook, um, uh, which does a lot to define define the world because they have their own world. Um, so when they aren't involved, I think that yeah, there needs to be a little bit more focus on what the system looks like. Um, to some degree, I just I added a few things as we went along and defined it that way. Um, but maybe it'd be better to have a little bit of time spent just like sketching out what's already there.
Um, uh, the Let me know if I'm not making any sense. Uh, I've been reading Mouse Guard, and they have also Torchbearer, which is probably a bad idea because it's very similar. I'll probably get them mixed up. Um, the faces in Torchbearer and Mouse Guard make me think like, okay, so we have this in this game. There's you have your character, which can interact in interesting ways. You know, like any like a warrior interacts with like a barbarian in D&D, right? With like with another organization's leader, you can have these interesting RP things. But you also have that characteristic that well, what is your name? I don't even know your name,
Oh, Michael.
Michael. That you mentioned that in these sort of large um, organization type games, it feels like you're playing like a strategic, like, you know, I'm gonna boom my army through here and it'll take 5 days and then you go, type stuff. Maybe there could be a phase where it's just like move your like a movement for your organization, and then like the leader phase where the leaders interact and they have like diplomacy, and then the action phase where the organizations move, and then the leader phase. Um,
You
I
you
wonder
might
if that would help.
you might want to check out, and unfortunately, it's not particularly well written. It's confusing in the book. Um, the game Weapons of the Gods in its companion has what's called the Great Game, which I tried to adapt for Legends of the Wu game I ran, and it went okay. It didn't go great, but I made some alterations to it, and it's a little confusing in the book. But it's this idea of taking the struggle between characters and organizations and other stuff and zooming way out,
Mm-hmm.
where you have like kind of the role playing aspects. You're zooming in on this thing that you're doing, so you can focus on like some of it just comes to stones on a board essentially. Like we have control at this point, and this point, and this point, but you're role playing some of the stuff that's going through. A few of them you're just kind of making the rolls and doing that happen, and it lets you sort of zoom in on a much the board gaming aspect and the role playing aspect come together um, a little fairly smoothly because you're getting to choose which of the ones your characters are more directly involved with.
And that's called Weapons of the Gods.
Yeah, Weapons of the Gods. It's a Jenna Moran. Like she did some really great writing for it. The Legends of the Wu which is the updated version, is much easier to read and get into. But the fiction Weapons of the Gods is really cool, and the companion has the Great Game, which might be something to look at. It's a little confusing, but it takes the whole idea of dealing with things from a character level on a massive scale and trying to make it satisfying in both a mechanical and a role playing way.
Cool, I'll check that out. Yeah, because that sounds like it's very much paralleling what I'm trying to do. So I'd love to mine it for insights.
Mine, I have it somewhere on my channel, but we did our Legends of the Wu game. We used it. It was a mixed bag. So I was trying something new, and it's one of those things where if we played with it a bit more over a couple more sessions, I think I could have really narrowed in to make that work better.
Cool. So, thanks again, guys. I guess I'm gonna head on out. Been a blast. I am hoping to run again. Probably not on a Wednesday anytime soon, but I often have try to get games together on Saturdays, and usually with some flexibility as to what time on the Saturday. So you can let me know like offline if you're interested, or I'll be in touch and like hit you guys up for uh, to ask for your availability when I'm trying to throw another session together.
Yeah, I run a Mutant Year Zero game on Saturdays, but
I I wanted to get back into role playing weekly, um, and I am going to, but it's going to be chaotic because my work schedule changes every week.
Yeah.
So there's no consistency. So it sucks, but I'm gonna keep trying anyways because without role playing, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my life.
Well, cool. I hope that scheduling does work out in the future with one or both. It's good seeing you again, Emiliano. Is a pleasure.
Yeah, likewise.
And great meeting you, Michael.
Nice to meet you guys, and have yourself a good one.
All right.
Later.
Bye. Before I go, I should say that if you're watching this and enjoyed it, please do hit follow, or if you're on YouTube, seeing it on YouTube, please subscribe. I'd very much appreciate it. If you are seeing this on Twitch, you can find my YouTube channel at youtube.com/c/rpglory. And thanks again.